Listen in as 5 friends take turns weaving stories through the tabletop game of their choice. This is 5 GMs in a Trench Coat.
Hello everyone and welcome to 5 GMs in a Trench Coat. I'll be your GM for today. My name is Tanner. To my right...
Hello, I'm Tanlin. It's been a second. I play D'vonne. I love you.
Who's next? Jesse.
Oh, I'm Jesse. I play Titus the Typhoon.
Kim.
Oh shit, I'm Kim and I play B.
I'm Adam and I play Araceli.
Alright, so I wanted to play a fun game for the first our first part of this recording.
I don't know why he's doing this, guys.
No, but every time I do the recap, and I remember what happens because I need to, obviously, but I want to test my players and see if they remember what happened because it's not just on me anymore. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to start with Adam, and then he's going to try and explain what happened last session. At some point, Adam, I'm going to tell you to stop, and then I'm going to say, Kim, what happened?
Okay.
And we're going to do that until we finish what happened last session.
Let's just go until we're here. So we're at this present moment. Let's just go like the past, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
So,
from the beginning.
Have the whole series.
So it can be in as much detail as you'd like, but you need to. If you don't get it right, that's fine. Gonna keep going until we finish.
Yeah. So
Adam.
So we had a meeting with oh my goodness, what's his name?
Mabel.
Mabel. We had a meeting with Mabel.
This is already great.
And he yelled at me because I keep winning. And everyone was mad at me because all I do is win, and I am that guy. So everyone yelled at me because apparently capturing the premiere is bad.
So that happened last session. Kim, what happened? What started our session last time?
Oh.
We met with Mabel and...
Yeah, we met with Mabel, and then we all got yelled at. And then we're crying a little bit. And then after we all got yelled at, then we had to figure out a plan to figure out what the fuck are we going to do to get out of it. And then nobody had a plan to get us out of it. And then Titus was like, well, what if we just, relocate every few weeks?
Keep explaining the plan.
Oh, shit.
It was your idea.
No, it was Titus's idea.
He teed it up for you, man.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, we got to go into smaller cells and break up, become small and mobile.
That's not what you said.
That's not what you said.
Oh.
Tanlin, do you remember the idea, Tanlin?
He was saying that we should put more pressure on the...
endanger
innocent civilians to get the heat off of us or something
also
like that.
to
garner
bolster,
more,
to garner more support.
Yeah.
So...
He said we should leak information to get civilians targeted.
To pressure the locals!
Pressure the locals to help us.
Yeah.
So what Tanner remembers is that Titus said we should start just moving Rodrigo to different locations and leaking where he is, but a step behind, so that they're chasing, right, like a dragon that they'll never... dragon.
It's a wild
that
goose chase.
Yeah, exactly, that they'll never quite catch up to.
Wild dragon.
So after you guys talked about that plan, you guys went to the roost, and then Adam, what happened?
At the roost, we all met up because we got called upon by a loud shriek, and we showed up, and it appeared as though the egg was hatching, and then it started to hatch, and D'vonne was turned because D'vonne loves dragons.
And then stop. Kim, what happened?
And then this baby dragon hatches, and then it's like, oh, look at the baby! And then it starts drooling, and then it falls over.
And then, Titus, Jesse, what happened
Which
next,
is what?
Jesse?
Which is what?
Oh, yeah.
It's what?
Oh, no. I said, look. I just thought babies fall. All right, babies fall sometimes and they drool. That's just regular baby things
that babies do.
So yeah, I thought it was a good omen. It'll work itself out.
All right.
Dear God.
And then we all yelled at Titus saying, no, it's not a good omen.
So.
Things are gonna work out, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna...
What?
We're back. The baby has just fallen over. So all of the dragons seem to be in distress.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it me? I'm a dragon.
I'm sweating.
We're all dragons and we're all.
I'm shitting.
So what's in like the exact moment where this happens, right? This baby falls over. What is everybody doing? Like, what's your guys' initial reaction?
I think it's. Oh my
I'm
god.
looking to D'vonne.
Yeah, D'vonne's instantly like, oh shit, and clocking that something's wrong and going to the baby dragon.
Okay, so everybody's kind of looking at D'vonne then.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
looked for
like
D'vonne.
I'm like following D'vonne's lead on what.
I've never
my
seen
God.
a dragon.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm checking its pulse.
so D'vonne, do you have any like medicine skill, or I'll let you roll dragon riding, but only half of your skill for this because it's a little specific.
Question: do we have points again? 'Cause
Yeah.
we took, okay.
Fate points reset
For sure.
for us every like session, so you get 2.
I don't have medicine.
Okay, so
But I
then
got dragon ride.
half your dragon riding skill rounded up. So what's your dragon riding skill?
4.
So you get 2.
Okay.
So
Could I
Use a.
could
point?
I finagle my stunt rider's wisdom to kind of
I'll let you do it for a fate.
dragon whisper.
or dragon whisper, I mean.
I'll let you
or
do it for a
whatever.
fate point. Yeah, you can add 2 or re-roll, and you can decide after you roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna
points.
use my face.
Use both of them. Double up.
Of course, like what? Are you
Can we do
kidding
that?
me?
You can double your fate points.
Okay.
You can use all of them in one. If you have 5 fate points, you can get to plus 10.
Sick.
So I'm gonna use one to add +2 or a re-roll.
Yes,
to-
and you can decide after you roll. What'd you get?
Like, it's cause it's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a 2.
So
A 2 in total.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you either add 2 or you roll.
Yeah.
So you either get a 2 or you reroll.
Can
I
I
really wish the dice loved me.
spend a fate point to add 2 to hers?
yeah, I'll let you spend a fate
But-
point.
Because I guess like do we have to kind of explain how we're helping?
So how I was thinking of it, I like that better. Yeah.
Fuck.
So
You had an idea and I asked. Now I have to explain how
yeah.
I'm
So
helping.
you.
so
It would
Araceli,
be a
how would
Sorry, it would be a 4 if I'm
With your
adding
fate point,
with
but
the
that's-
fate point. But I
that's
could
not
just
fair.
re-roll.
I don't think it's high enough for what's happening.
I'm so nervous.
I'm like actually shaking.
Because it just adds.
2, or you can re-roll, or Tinley can re-roll.
Okay. Well, so then I'm gonna go ahead and so you have yours used. I'll let you re-roll using mine. But the way I'm gonna do it, I think I'm gonna kind of go like behind D'vonne and like near the baby dragon. I'm gonna put my hands into the dirt, and I think I'm gonna try to channel my magic in any capacity that I can use it.
Okay.
Because I know like. I know that technically anyone can use any kind of magic, just like an amount of training, and so I'm just gonna try to like see what I can do with nature
Okay.
and the magic of nature.
Okay, so I like the idea then that Araceli is like, oh, like dragons need heat, right? Like birds sit on their eggs for
Yeah.
heat, right? So you're like, I can incubate this thing and that'll help. Who knows if it actually
That's
will?
probably like the train of thought that Araceli has. Like magic has helped me this far.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, is
So-
this gonna turn out like the end of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, where you find out that she's not fire, she's love, or some bullshit?
That's not that doesn't
I haven't
happen.
watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl in a very long time, but I do
Yeah.
remember Taylor Lautner's.
Dream.
Yeah,
dream,
but that's also
dream,
because
dream.
I'm realizing now that little Adam had a crush on Taylor Lautner.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Yeah, no, and that's why I like
Talon
that
had a
song
crush
so much.
on Lava Girl.
Me too,
so-
actually. I realize that now. I'm like,
No,
Good talk,
wait,
guys.
no.
But yeah,
Pride Month, it's Pride Month
yes,
as
I
we're
think I'm gonna like
recording
stick my
this.
hands in.
So you have 2 fate points to use, yours plus out.
Okay, so should I re-roll with mine and then?
What,
do the plus
what
two?
did you get?
It was
Minus plus
Yeah.
is 0. You can always, or you could either bump to a 6, or you can re-roll and then add yours as a 2.
bumping to a 6 is
6 is
a
pretty
much
high.
better
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so you're going with a 6?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? I'm just kidding.
I actually light
Yeah.
on fire.
Oh, I
So-
think that would be so bad for the group.
Yeah. I'd have to fight you guys, because you guys are trying to kill me.
I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna
Jesus.
like do a Tolkien thing where I'm gonna be using terms that make sense to us, but I don't know that in universe they make sense. If you get me.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
D'vonne.
so scared.
What goes through D'vonne's brain is like, oh, this is a problem that I've like heard about or maybe read about. To us, we're like, if we were looking at text to be translated. So, D'vonne, it looks like some sort of like epileptic seizure of some kind. And here's the thing, right? Modern medicine in this world doesn't have much of an answer to that outside of like, taking care of like making sure it doesn't like hurt itself or
Yeah.
hurt its body, like, you know, stuff like that. Just taking care of it, treating symptoms, not fixing the problem. So, D'vonne, I'm going to have you roll again, but I'll give you a +3 for half the fate points to just try and like alleviate whatever's happening.
Do I still get...
Your Dragon Rider
Dragon
skill?
Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a +5 in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are good numbers. Those
Damn.
were good numbers.
Damn!
So, well, you got a 5.
Damn!
That's one less than a 6. That's
Wow.
not bad.
The
So,
dice hate me.
Let's see what I would have gotten.
so, D'vonne, you lean down and let's say you like cradle its head, right? Like,
No.
like wipe up some of the drool stuff like that.
I'm gonna throw up.
And about a minute passes by. Are you guys just watching?
I'm trying to
probably
comfort
trying
D'vonne.
to support in any way I can.
Fuck.
I think like I accidentally created like a fire shrine around it.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I think
Oh,
like
yeah.
I think like all of us and our dragons are just surrounded by like I guess like
ring
a
of fire.
ring of fire, and I think it's like fully on accident because I've dug my hands into the dirt and I'm just sort of like using my magic in a way that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
So, we are in the roost, I'll remind you.
Yeah.
But, that being said, it's fireproof.
And I also think
because-
Araceli's not like
Thinking. Yeah, no, of course.
like,
Of course.
this
It's
is
a
a part
name.
of his magic he doesn't understand.
Yeah, no, I get you. The roost
It's
is...
hot in here.
It's like a sauna.
Yeah.
The roost is
Sorry.
fireproof for obvious reasons, so it's not a big deal.
That
So
makes
about a
sense.
minute passes by.
Oh, Jesus.
But and after maybe like 15 seconds, it's like is just still and it's still breathing, and then the dragon, the baby, pushes itself up and just looks around at you guys, and then like goes up and it. You know that thing cats do where they like open their mouths and like rub up against you?
Uh-huh.
It like does that to you, D'vonne.
Do you know why they do that? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Because they have glands in their mouth.
Yeah, they have
Like,
scent markers
yeah.
in their mouths.
That's so cool.
He's marking me.
Nice.
So he does that to you, D'vonne, and then he goes up and sniffs Araceli.
I just put my hand out and I kind of just like.
Yeah,
I've never seen a baby dragon.
it
Hot in
sniffs
here.
you.
Yeah, it's so fucking hot.
It sniffs you and then does the same thing to you. It goes up to
Oh, cool.
B. And
I'm like holding on to D'Vonne's leg. I'm
That's
just like,
it doesn't even sniff B. It just like does the same thing where it's like scratches its mouth against you, and then it goes up to you, Titus.
It
What do
goes-
you do?
He's gonna kind of take a step back. Like, I don't know about this one.
It's gonna follow you. The little baby.
Oh, okay, I'll let it happen.
And it just goes up and sniffs your leg if you don't like reach out or anything, and then it'll do it once and then twice. And then a third time, just really like marking you hard, Titus.
Okay.
And
knows
then
you don't vibe with it. It's like, oh, this shit.
it walks back to Asus Reina,
Uh-huh.
who is quiet and looking at it. And then it looks at you, Araceli.
Uh-huh.
And then it looks at the baby again, and the baby just curls up for a second. Do you guys want to like get food and stuff? You want to start taking care of it? I guess is my question.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I kind of look at Raina like, what are you going to do, man? Like, what are we doing here?
So we'll fade out on you guys taking care of the baby and the dragons.
I pointedly look at Dawn like, can Raina make milk? Just
Where's Raina's titties?
I don't have the mental bandwidth to answer your questions right
apologies.
now. So.
And then, like, I think at that, I also realized we're surrounded by fire. And I'm like, whoa! Down.
We'll fade out on you guys taking care of the dragons in that little scene. For the record, dragons do not produce milk for their young. That's not how that works.
I wasn't sure.
So
Gotta ask. Platypi do.
somebody has to tell
Platypi.
Araceli later.
Break the news.
So a week passes.
A week?
Oh shit.
Things are tense around the HQ, the
Yeah.
camp, for obvious reasons, I
wonder
think.
why.
Does Araceli get looks? Like,
Constantly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so a
I'm
lot
not
of, like,
popular.
Araceli isn't being treated like a,
Pariah.
yeah, but people are,
Don't
like,
like
glancing
it.
his way. If anybody was talking to Araceli now outside of you guys, they're probably not anymore unless it's, like, necessary to.
So I am a pariah. That's totally a pariah. That's what a
No,
pariah
but,
is.
like, they're not shunning you actively, right? But it's kind of like a quiet,
Passively.
like, let's, if we don't
Let's not
have to,
talk to
you know what I
this
mean?
guy, yeah.
And they're not being outwardly mean to you, but again, like...
I get it. Yeah, no, I understand.
So, what are you guys doing in that week? It's mostly downtime. Like, Mabel might call you guys aside sometimes just to chat about things. But it's nothing major at the moment, yes?
Would I have been able to go home in that time?
If you want to take leave, you can talk to Mabel about it. I say take leave like it's a job. Like, you can,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because there's a couple, I also want to, okay, so I think early on, because I know that Titus suggested a plan, and that's so far the one that, like, everyone likes the most. I think I want to talk to Titus, but also I don't know how upset he is at me. So I think I do that thing where I kind of just, like, stand near him for a little while until, like, he asks me. I'm just like,
well, you're gonna be at the bar, so he's like, hey, you wanna drink, buddy?
oh, sure. And then just, like, sit down next to you, like, cool. he started the conversation. So Titus, what do you drink?
Oh, usually rum, but
I'll take one of those.
I'll take whatever they give me.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm just like sitting there uncomfortable.
there's a bartender, and
Waiter.
he grabs a bottle of rum and pours you guys each a shot glass. I don't drink. It comes in like shot glasses, right? Rum?
Okay.
Okay.
But I think
normal?
the ones he has for Titus are all watered down because he drinks so much.
Yeah.
So he's losing money on you.
So yeah, he pours some like water into Titus's, but also he pours rum, pours water, and then pours the rest of the rum.
Very good.
And hands you guys rum.
Yeah. I take a sip. That's so good, Titus.
Titus drinks the whole thing like it's my
Is that what you're supposed to do?
And so then I think I'm gonna like light it on fire and just let it burn off to the side. And so I'm just talking. I'm like, yeah. So Titus,
favorite. Yeah.
your plan.
Yeah.
I just like it's a good idea, but I just kind of feel like it endangers a lot of people.
Oh well. It's the best option.
As of right now, you're right. But I had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you were a pirate.
Yeah.
You were impressive.
The
right?
best.
Yeah, exactly. You've taken out ships before.
Like, what do you mean by take out? Like,
Well, so okay. Here's my thing. What if, as we leak the information, we just set up a little strike force, and really just us, because we're really good at it. We've been doing good so far, and so anytime they send someone to the coordinates that we leak, we just capture them, and the more people we capture, we're just it's a consistent show of power, and they don't have any real information on us, right?
I mean, it's a decent plan, but we're gonna be fighting a lot.
I mean, I can handle it, can't you? You're Titus the Typhoon. And like, I don't know if you look at me, but I'm so like, is he gonna get mad at me for saying that?
So we're watching you guys like a side shot, and it's you two, and between you two, the bartender just looks across the bar, like at our side, like, "What are you doing? Don't you do that?"
Like, look, our luck will only last so long. If we consistently...
Not about luck.
It's always about luck.
You're Titus the Typhoon. You say it all the time.
Yeah.
Can't you make storms?
Yeah. Well, look, kid. This plan of yours is gonna work until it doesn't, and then the whole operation's fucked.
Kind of like I think I like ponder on that for a second. Just like, But isn't that every plan? Because what if they just start really culling civilians to prove a point?
I'm gonna be kid. Do you think I'm proud of my plan? Do you think I want this?
Not at all, but I think that you can.
Look, I'm
help
just
with the
working
secondary.
with what we got. All right, part of being a leader is working with what happens. Okay, I'm not a smart man, but the reason why I was the captain was because I'm decisive. I work with what you got. No plan ever works. You just gotta keep going. You know? I don't know. I'm gonna go now. I'm tired.
So before when you like kind of get up, I think I like grab your shoulder and I'm like, I'm not very smart either. But we have 4 dragon riders, like 5, but like the 4 of us, right? Yeah. And I think you know those odds are pretty good. And then I'm gonna like let go and walk away as well.
Damn.
All right, so around the same time that conversation happens, let's say within about a day.
Okay. So this is like early on in the week, right?
Yeah, within the first 3 days of the week. Mabel asks B and D'vonne to come to his office, I guess. It's just the room you guys always meet in.
Right, yeah. Is the broken bottle still in there?
We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. So he calls both of you in.
Yeah, I go.
And you guys go?
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, the door's open. He's sitting on a crate, drawing something on a map.
Another map.
There's broken pieces of glass framed on the wall now.
Oh!
And when you guys walk in, you guys open the door, and Mabel looks up at you and smiles kind of softly, which as he usually does, and he says, D'vonne, thank you for meeting me. I appreciate it. He gestures to two crates across from him.
Yeah. Take a seat.
I stand on the crate. So he can see me.
Yeah.
Lift you up to put you on the crate.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
you're
oh,
still the same
please.
Um,
I'm like, this is normal. Don't worry about it.
and before you guys do sit down, he says, can you lock the door?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
D'vonne?
Oh no!
You have me mid-lift. It's like, D'vonne, just take me over there.
Just
I'll log
carry
it.
her over in my hand.
And I'll log it.
I like the concept that B gets shorter every episode.
Yeah. B will just be a toddler by the end of this.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So
Just a head of cabbage.
Mabel takes a second, finishes writing something down, and he says, I wanted to talk about Araceli.
I want to talk about the kids.
He's fired.
Yeah, it's just like a quiet little nod.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys looking right now when he says that?
I don't think B is looking right at him. I think it's kind of like looking at her little feet, being like, yeah, I think, yeah, we do need to talk about the kid. You're right. But like, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. I think with where D'vonne and Araceli are in their relationship, D'vonne probably looks a little bit happier. Just a little bit.
Happy?
Like, yeah, just like, this is what I've been
This is
waiting
his
for.
moment to get rid
Yeah.
of me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll describe Mabel again because it's been a little bit. So Mabel is like a dark tan, has kind of shaggy black hair and maybe a couple of gray strands, but he's probably only in his mid 30s, give or
This
take.
is stressful though.
Yeah, you did say he was pretty young.
Yeah. He has a black beard that's well trimmed. Maybe him and Titus maybe look a little similar, but vaguely, right? Maybe like they're from the same area, right? And he looks at B and sees her not meet his gaze, and then he looks at D'vonne.
He's like the slightest smirk on his face.
And I think Mabel tries to keep his composure, and he says, what he did last week, and he rubs his head. I thought he'd be able to help us, and do you think he has? Do you think he's done anything worthwhile with your team? Frankly. I won't say this to anybody else. I won't ask anybody else, and I won't tell anybody what you say.
I think D'vonne's gonna wait for B to talk.
D'vonne only has bad things
He doesn't
to
have
say.
anything nice to say. He's such a sourpuss.
I love it. I'm so here for it.
I mean, I think without him, the last two plans that we've executed wouldn't have gone through. But I will say, both times, it was incredibly stupid and incredibly rash of him to do what he did, especially this last time around. And I think that's going to come and bite us in the ass. Real hard.
Why do you think he was necessary to the last mission? As I understand
Not the last one, the first one. Because if it wasn't for him, we may have not gotten out of the 4-ship debacle.
I understand. I see. So then, do you think if you continue to work with him, all of you can keep him under better control? Because
I'll be so honest with you, Mabel.
That kid's a fucking wild card.
We haven't been able to rein him in since day one. And I don't think, especially with what's happened so far and the fact that everything keeps succeeding on his end, I don't think we can.
there's a long sigh. Mabel, looks to the side and thinks. Do either of you say anything in the pause?
I don't. I've said my piece. I don't know if D'vonne's gonna say anything.
Mabel, as he's looking to the side, just says, D'vonne?
I didn't come here to be a babysitter.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I understand the reasoning behind having him. Reyna is an incredible addition to what we have going on here, but I don't know.
There's a baby now.
There's a baby now.
There's a baby now. I don't know if she'll be joining us at all because she's gotta watch this kid.
She's a mother.
She's a mother. So I don't.
Mabel scratches his beard and says, "It sounds like what you're saying is that it's not worth keeping Araceli around." And then he waits for either you. If it's okay if you guys don't say anything.
I think it's just silence from like B,
silent.
because it's very much like I don't like. He's just a kid, but also like at some point it's gonna put us in like such a bad position. Like I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then Mabel nods and he breaks out of it, smiles to you both, and he says, "Thank you for talking and giving me your opinion. I appreciate it. Like I said, nothing that we said in this room will leave that door." And he looks at you like, "Right?"
Yeah.
And says, "I'll talk to Araceli soon, and you'll know when I do." Do you guys leave the office without saying anything else? Mabel just gestures to the door.
Yeah, just like a nod, like
Just like acknowledgement.
dismissed.
Okay. So then another day passes. We're about midweek.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And Mabel goes, Where are you, Araceli?
I've probably... I have a question.
Yeah.
Does the island, like, in any capacity have, like, a center? Or, like somewhere... Because, like, I know when we started, they were, like, moving stuff, like, the base around. Like, is there a place, like, where I could go where, like, magic is the most concentrated? Or, like, nature is the most concentrated?
I mean, so the top part of the island, it's like the non-underground part is literally just like plains, basically. So you could be in the middle of that, and you'd be surrounded by like a lot of wind and the sky itself, right, without much interruption.
Mm-hmm.
But magic being concentrated in a certain place, not really.
Okay.
You could work with like. If you're around other magic users, you know, you might feel that, but...
I might be either on the edge, or in any different capacity, like on the edge or in, like, the center, just where there's a lot of wind, kind of just, like, letting fire out. I think I'm probably practicing my magic, because once again, I think I've realized that that's more of one of my strengths.
Okay.
And so I think I'm working with my little clicky
Yeah.
thing.
Your little bracelet. Right.
Yeah, my board, and, like, I'm just working with, like, my tools to see, like, to just refine my skills.
Right.
Because I think that, I'm just working harder at being better at the things I do.
Yeah.
Because that's how, like, my concept is, like, to fix things, right?
Of course.
I just have to improve on my skills.
Right. So then, yeah, maybe while you're training with your fire, your magic, right? Mabel, and let's say you're in the center of the island, just like the dead center.
Right.
And Mabel comes up and, you know, he's a little bit away, but you might see him, and he's walking towards you with a hand in his pocket.
Shoots me. I kind of like perk. So I think right now I was like either standing or maybe sitting like on my knees, and I had fire going in my palms, and I think I was like lighting fires in different areas and just kind of seeing like the range at which I could control fire and create fire.
Right.
And so I think it's sort of like test like bursts and see how far I can get it. And I think like one probably like a test burst is probably like about to reach him. Like, and I like turn it off. I'm like hey, and I like stand up and like give him a thumbs up. My thumb's probably on fire. Put it out.
Mabel gives you that same soft smile that he has, and he says, "Hi, Araceli. Do you mind if we talk?"
I don't think you really have a choice. You know, you're kind of the boss.
He laughs and he says, "You're not wrong." So,
Yeah.
about last week.
Yeah.
I appreciate you trying to save the mission. And I know you were just doing what you thought was right.
Right.
But, as I'm sure you know now, that drew a lot of attention to us in a way that I don't think will be very beneficial in the long term. Or the short term, frankly. However, I still understand that you were doing what you thought was right. And I appreciate that because that's what I want in anybody who's a part of this. Then he pulls out a gun and he shoots you, and then he misses.
Yeah, and then Tandem comes and tries, and then he misses.
Yeah, they crash the ship into me.
Tandem's in the roost, he tries snapping and then he misses. No, but Mabel says, if you're going to continue working with us, I want you to try and follow your teammates' lead right now until you feel that you're ready to make decisions like that. Because I'll let you know, I don't think you are ready yet. But maybe you will be eventually. Does that make sense?
Sure.
What's Araceli's expression right now?
I think he kind of has like an awkward grimace. I think like something I do when I'm like uncomfortable. I like all of a sudden it's like a kind of like smile or like a giggle. Like I do it when I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like an impulse. Like I can't help it. It's like I think it's just like an awkward, really awkward smile.
Okay.
It almost looks like he's in the middle of like trying to stop a laugh, but he doesn't think anything's funny. It's
Yeah, no, I follow
a
you.
tick.
Does Mabel think that it's hit? Like, does he think it's from his
I look
expression?
uncomfortable for sure, and
Okay.
I don't think I'm not like genuinely dumb, right? Like
Right,
things don't
right,
genuinely go over my head. I'm like a little stupid, but like
No,
things
no.
don't genuinely go over my head.
I may be a little
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, so I think it definitely like hits. Like I look upset, but I do kind of like look and I'm like, well, can I ask you a question?
Mabel says, you can ask me anything.
I know I'm messed up. I understand that, and I understand that you asked us what the next move is, and that the best option that's been given so far is Titus's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And even and Titus knows. I talked to Titus about it, and that it's endangering a lot of people, which is my fault. But I was wondering if maybe you would give us permission. Maybe when we leak the information, instead of letting them attack, we do ambushes. And I mean, our team can be a strike team. We've done good so far.
Mabel's brow furrows slightly. He's not looking at you. He's processing, right? His
Yeah.
brow furrows slightly, and then it unfurrows. And
Well, because like, what do they know about us? Like we could just.
he chooses, like, cheek for a second.
I chew his
thinking,
cheek as well.
No.
Pretty good, Mabel.
do me a favor, Araceli. We're going to initiate whatever plan we have in about a week or two.
Jesus.
I want you to draft up what you think that plan looks like. Bring it to me next week, and we'll talk about it further. Does that sound good? Does that sound fair?
Thank you.
He nods. He says, have fun with your fire, Araceli. And he turns.
Bye.
He walks back.
I start crying.
I'm so pissed off because as soon as we start doing plans that Araceli doesn't like fuck up, they're gonna go bad. Cause fucking Adam has the heart of the dice, and it's fucking ridiculous.
The dice go outside of me. I don't know what you want me to do. Are you
hard.
yeah, right? No, because we're going to be doing really bad, and I'm going to look at you and be like, I'm going to do it. And he's like,
I
no,
got
I'm going to roll a
this.
10. I'm like the dumbest thing. It's like, why?
How'd you even get a 10?
Yeah.
That's not even possible.
You literally can't get a 10. Like, there's no way you got a 10.
So,
An extra dice appears.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Materializes.
a couple more days pass.
Oh, jeez.
Is anybody talking to Rodrigo? Because he's still in Tandem ship.
B would not. She said her
I-
spiel and that's all she.
I'm really over here mulling over how dumb Araceli is.
Well,
Anybody-
like how curious would Araceli be?
It's not a... There's something stupid that I think Araceli wants to do, but it's very stupid.
Adam, if you want to think about it, does
Yeah, I'll
Titus
think
about it.
or
I think
D'vonne?
Titus
No,
would have visited
shoot
him
him.
once, just to meet him. You know?
Okay. Titus, you're heading towards the Tandem ship, right?
Yeah.
Tandem is on is next to his wheel and seems to be just miming like flying.
Oh no, Titus understands. He's like, I've done this hundreds of times.
But he sees you and it's time. I'm gonna roll a d9. So I'm gonna do a new thing where I roll a dice and see what Tandem's accent is going to be for the day. I know it's British. I know it's British, but let's see.
But
so
it's funny.
We have 9 options. Let's see what it's going to be today. 5. Okay, hold on. He's gonna be doing an Australian accent, so we're gonna work on that in a second. So yeah, Tandem sees you, Titus, and he says, he says,
Wow, right?
Yeah, he says, thank you, Adam. He says, Titus, I didn't
Got him there.
Titus, do you need something?
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be awesome.
I have 2 bottles of rum in my hand. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna give this to the prisoner and just like, just a chat, say hi.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean, doesn't matter.
Fair enough. And then he just goes back to miming. Hit the hatch to the lower part of the ship is open.
So when he's miming, if he pretends to turn it to the right, Titus is gonna stumble, make it as if the ship is turning hard.
That's it. Yes, he does. And then he says, "Look out!" And he's doing it really hard. His crew is looking at him, and they half-heartedly pretend to do it with you guys.
Get you a man. Get you a man who'll do the bit with you.
Honestly, yeah.
So, do you head down after?
Yeah, I'll head down.
Okay, the crew's doing their thing, kind of taking care of the ship. A couple of them are just relaxing, and the gate to Rodrigo's cell thing is closed. But you can't see him, right? There's a wooden wall. Do you approach?
Yeah, I'll approach.
Okay, so there's a stool next to it, and Rodrigo's inside on his own stool, and he just seems to be staring at the ceiling, thinking. Yes, he's still wearing the same thing he was last week.
Okay, so does he have a little opening for food and stuff?
Yeah, so there's a little thing you can open.
So he's gonna slide it in one of the bottles of rum. Here you go. I thought you might get bored. Keep you entertained for a bit.
Okay, so yeah, he looks over at you, and then he straightens his back, turns, and grabs it. He says, "Thank you, and your name was?"
I'm Titus the Typhoon.
You asked me about yourself when we met.
Yeah, well, you see, I'm expert at espionage, so I was trying to dig for information,
I see. You implied that I should know who you are?
Yeah, because I'm a great pirate, been on the high skies for over 100 years.
I see, 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, then, Titus, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Oh yeah, shoot, I don't got anything to do.
Why? Why this? Why are you here?
What else is there? Get up in one of your tight uniforms and salute some dude that gets paid 5 times as much as me while I scramble for whatever little bits I can get? That's not the life for me.
So, there's some... You think it's unfair the amount that we pay our privateers and our sailors? Is that what you mean to say?
No, I mean that your nobles, they all think that they're hot shit and that they're the most important. They'll do anything to stay in that position, even knock down us little guys.
I understand. I grew up without means, and I understand what you mean. If that makes sense.
Yeah, he pops open his bottle. Titus pops open his bottle, starts drinking.
So, you said you hand him a glass too, right?
I hand him a whole bottle.
Okay. So then he'll just take a straight swig from it, and says, "How did you grow up, Titus? 100 years ago."
Oh, 100 years ago, I grew up on the ground.
He says low, and then he stops. And then he just says, "You're from below?"
Yep, born and raised.
Then why did you come up here? How did you come up here?
Every kid makes stupid mistakes, and then stumble across a pirate crew that takes you in,
I see. So you grew up as a pirate once you were old enough to leave your home?
I mean, I didn't have much of a home. I guess home is a strong word, but I mean, when I didn't have anywhere else to go, I guess would be a better better way to say it.
I see. And this was all 100 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 100 years ago.
What are you wearing, Titus? Are you wearing, like, your mask and stuff?
No, he's just gonna wear, like, regular clothes, just more comfortable.
Got it. He says, my family is from down there. And he clears his throat like that. That's just not a Tannerism. And he says, thanks, guys.
Sorry, Tannerism is so funny.
Pass out.
I'm a fan.
So, he says, my family is from down there too, but I was born here. Do you think it's better up here?
Oh, yeah, much better. I'm free up here. I was locked down there.
He, like, raises an eyebrow at you and he says, you're welcome. And it's obvious he's trying to make a joke.
Titus is gonna kind of look at the ceiling and go, I'm sure that you've probably made decisions you weren't proud of. Do you still consider yourself a good man, even though...
Doesn't everybody? Don't we all?
Yeah, but, some choices are worse than others.
He nods. He says, have you ever made a choice you regretted like that? And then he takes a swig.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah, just recently.
He just nods. If I do get out of here, I will feel sorry when I have to order that all of you are executed.
No, I get it. I do the same thing in your shoes.
I'm glad that you understand. It wouldn't be my first choice, but frankly, I can't do anything about it because... And then he gestures to himself, how ragged he looks. He gestures to the ship. He gestures to, like... He lifts up, like, his shirt, and there's a bruise on his back from, like, the gun being, like, hit into his back from Araceli.
I don't remember doing that.
I didn't do that.
And he says, but I'll try to make sure it's at least a swift execution if things come to that. And who knows if they will.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
So, yeah, maybe you guys keep chatting for a little bit, but we'll fade out. Tandem's like, he's over there. Then he's like, fire cannons! And then they all like okay.
Why are you talking like this?
Honey, he's on.
Corky's that dragon!
Honey, he's on another one of
Gotta
them
go
again.
on some dragons. So yeah, a couple more days pass. Sky crikey.
Crikey.
Crikey. A couple more days pass, and then Mabel calls all of you back to his office.
Christ.
One thing, I also think Titus kind of would like talking with Rodrigo, so he'd probably meet him every day just to chat.
Okay. So it's become a regular thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. So, yeah, Mabel calls all of you back to his office.
Mm-hmm.
And when you guys walk in, he is...
I'm so sorry. Could I have drafted my plan up?
Yeah, within a few days.
Sure. Yeah, because
Okay.
we didn't talk about it.
Okay, so I figured you wanted to do that later, but yeah, we could talk about that now.
Oh,
So-
no.
I wanted to give you time is all.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure if it was like a thing out of that I drafted up and I'll tell him about it when I see him, or
It
do
would-
you and I want to talk about drafting it up?
Let's talk about drafting it up first,
Okay.
maybe, and then we can talk about it next time you see Mabel. That's kind of my thought.
Okay,
Is that okay?
sounds good. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So Mabel, when you guys walk in, is holding a piece of parchment, and there's like a small stack of them on the table in front of him, and he turns like the parchment to you, and it's art, and
It's actually just wanted posters.
they're not want posters. They're like portraits, but to our like eyes, it's to you guys, it's a very modern piece of art, right? And it is a portrait in what we'd consider like a Renaissance style, right?
Okay.
But there are elements
Okay.
of maybe like some more abstract, like 20th century art too. So like it's a little bit maybe cubist too, and maybe the landscape is in a weird way. It's
I like cubism.
it's
Fuck the cubes.
again, to our eyes it looks a little odd, but to you guys you're like, oh, this is just like what people
Yeah,
are doing
that's
right now.
normal.
So-
this was banging.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a portrait of Rodrigo, but in like a fiery hellscape. But he's smiling like gently.
That's
And
crazy.
it's a lot more complicated, but we won't get into details. But that's the vibe, right?
That's a little
And-
weird.
And
Yeah.
and Mabel shows it to you and he says, "Have you guys seen this before?" And he's not challenging, he's not arguing, he's saying, "Have you guys seen this stuff before?"
Oh, Mabel, I didn't know you paint. It's so good.
He was like, "When did you become an artist?"
Mabel shakes his head and he smiles. He says, "This isn't mine. I didn't draw this."
Oh, thank goodness, it's horrifying.
This isn't the kind of art I usually look at, so I've never seen this before.
Long silence.
Just a pause looking at
side eye.
Side eye.
So Mabel, actually just tosses the piece of paper across the makeshift table at you guys as you sit down, and then he starts just dealing out art. And it's the same kind of vibe, right? It's not always Rodrigo, it's not always a fiery hellscape, but it's a lot of kind of vaguely anti-republic, not propaganda, right? But arts. It's all drawings on parchment and paintings. And as you guys will look at them, Mabel says, "These are recreations that some of my scouts have done just so that we can kind of understand. I have been in contact with the person who's been making these. And they've told me that they are organizing a gathering from a few different groups who might be interested in merging with us. Does that make sense?"
It makes sense, but who are the organizations?
Is there a catch?
And that too.
am unaware of any catch, but I don't imagine this will be very easy. This will not be easy to convince them because we've come under some heat right now, and he pointedly does not look at Araceli, he's trying to not look at Araceli. He says, "We've been under some heat, and it's been hard for us to make allies as of recent. However, I'm hoping that this gathering will prove that in spite of our drastic actions recently, we still have the people's best interest in mind." There will be of quite a few different groups, D'vonne, and I have already debriefed Tandem. He can explain them on your way, but the meeting is in a day, and you have lots of traveling to do. I won't be going with you. I have to handle some other things here. So I'm trusting you to do your best to convince everybody, should they need convincing, to merge with us.
Where are we meeting?
In Portoroso. And so you guys would know Portoroso. It's a major... Portoroso. It's a major manufacturer. It's a city, right? But it's a major manufacturer of weapons, armor, ammunition for the Republic. But it's also just a huge bustling city, right? That's its main industry, but it's also a center of culture. It's not the capital, but it's kind of like the Los Angeles or Dallas or us, right? Or New York, right? It's not the capital, but it's...
But it could be.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Portoroso, again, it rings on you all know that place, right? Even if you've never been.
Yeah.
He says, it's in Portoroso in a... and they think, he's I think they're calling them cafes now. An underground cafe where the artist, and he points, seems to enjoy meeting people at. Frankly, I don't know who the artist is. They keep themselves anonymous, so you'll have to discern who that is once you arrive at the meeting location. And he tosses you a map of the city and a little X, or a star, where the point is.
This is D'vonne. I just have a question, because our faces are hot.
Yeah, because this is
hot. But our faces are kind of known from our little...
Excursion?
Yeah, and this is a Republic
City.
occupying space, right?
It is.
Are we the
Yeah.
best? I guess we're the only fucking choice.
Who else better to convince them than the people that were there? But also, how are we getting in?
You should be able to move through the crowd somewhat unnoticed. It'll be
Bee looks down at herself alright.
It'll be during the day, so hopefully you won't arouse any suspicion. You would if you were perhaps going at night, but it's during the day, so hopefully nobody will notice you amongst the crowds. However, if you could all wear hoods,
Yeah.
and only travel in groups until you're there to keep each other safe, I think that would be best. The meeting place is safe from what I've gathered, and if you need anything, and he points to a few dots on the map, I have contacts here who can help you. Does that make sense?
I take it no dragons.
No dragons.
Okie dokie.
So D'vonne is like kind of upset, like, damn it. But, like, he knows.
Can I take my board, or would that stand out too much?
Do you ask him?
Yeah, I'm asking him.
Mabel says it's probably best if you don't take your board for now, Araceli.
Alright.
Damn.
So
We're not
there's
going to have an easy
no
out.
escape.
This will be real interesting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
How long is it estimated to be?
The meeting?
Like, the travel and the...
Got it. So, yeah, Mabel says it's about a 2-day mission, about a day to get there, and then hopefully you'll find the meeting once you're there. The meeting should only last a couple hours, and then about a day's travel back. So 2.5 days.
My son's gonna miss me. Okay.
Mabel sighs and he says, your dragons, any of them that can fit under within Tandem Ship can come with for the trip if you think that would be best. But
D'vonne totally thinks that would be bad.
Well,
Yeah.
D'vonne would never go anywhere without Siren.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he wouldn't bring him onto the island.
Right,
with him,
but he's gonna bring
But
him
he's
shit.
gonna... He's gotta have him at least, like, around. Can't be a whole days away. Are you serious?
There's no. What if he gets sick?
Yeah, what if he gets sick?
What if he misses
What
What if he
Oh.
eats too much? What if they feed him too much while I'm away? They don't know how to do his meal the way I do it. And he's gonna be sad.
So funny.
He doesn't say that out loud.
D'vonne, the doting parent, is really good.
so, yeah. Does anybody else have any questions?
I think that's all I had.
Do we have any way to identify this artist? He's anonymous, right? Do we have a way to...
You'll have to identify the meeting location by the people who are there. Tandem can debrief you on your way. Regarding the artist, though, frankly, I don't have anything to tell you. I don't know anything about this person, but I know that they've been very helpful and they've helped us many times before, so I don't think they're working against us in any fashion. Frankly. And I apologize for their anonymity. It's not my choice.
Yeah, well, they'll notice the great Titus the Typhoon when we get there, so it shouldn't be hard.
Mabel's lips thin, and he just looks at everybody, like, except Titus, like, all right. He says, Tandem Ship is being prepared now. If you'll be ready to leave in an hour, yes?
Yes, sir.
Nods. And he says, good luck, and if you'd like to take any of the art, feel free, and he gestures to the pieces on the
All of
table.
them.
I'm gonna take the Rodrigo one.
Okay.
I like fold it up.
Anybody gonna take another? It doesn't matter, like...
I think D'vonne would, but he'd kind of wait till everyone starts shuffling out to kind of, like, look through them. Is there any that are, like, I don't know. Because you said they're all...
They're like propaganda. Well, like
Propaganda.
pro-us propaganda.
Yeah. Just one, any of them that looks, like, a little bit, like, ornate.
It was like the racetrack's on fire.
So yeah, we'll say there's one that maybe is a painting of the skies, but as an ocean, and off in the distance there's like a tower on
Yeah,
fire.
Something really homosexual. Something really...
And they're also just two women who are like kissing on the...
Oh, yes, okay, yeah.
Beautiful.
That
Thank
one.
goodness.
Thank
I'm so glad we added
Oh,
that.
no, Titus would want that one. I think I'm gonna get this one.
We both reach for it at the same
Yeah.
time our hands touch. Just,
Sorry.
yeah, my bad.
So, you guys get prepared. Does anybody want to do anything before you head on to Tandem Ship?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my room that like I have not been sleeping in because I've been like sleeping on the island just in different places.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell my roommate like, I'll be back, and like leave. See you guys later. The roommates who probably don't like me.
You open the door, you're like, I'll be back. They all like look at you as the door closes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
He rooms with us.
Does anybody else have anything they want to do before you guys head out?
No, well, yeah, because I'm bringing Siren with me. There's no question about that. He's gonna be stowed away.
Is anybody else bringing the dragon?
No, I was probably gonna...
I'm trying to push Raina into the bottom.
Yeah, no, I'm probably just gonna go, like, up to Kai and be like, just help take care of the baby, yeah?
Okay. Oh yeah, Kai can't nod, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
you
it's
know,
like a...
sorry.
Affirms.
You know what he's doing? He's making like a list of how to take care of the dragons and the baby.
Yeah.
Like okay, at 12:30 you have to make sure that they go for their walkies, or they'll get a little anxious. And you don't want them to be anxious because then they'll make a little noise. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to go like kind of check on the baby because I think I've been like keeping like a decent distance.
Right.
But I want to check on Raina and the baby and kind of see how that's going.
Yeah. So you walk up to the roost and you like walk through the door, and Raina actually isn't like anywhere to be seen at first. The baby is though. Its little wings are like flapping as it's walking, and it looks up at you. I don't remember how I described its eyes, but for now we'll say they're cat-like. Okay. And it just like looks up at you and then makes a little chirp sound, and then just walks up to your leg and does the mouth thing again.
Pat it. This is nice.
This is good for me.
And then one of the like perches outside of the roost, Raina like lands and the roost shakes slightly.
Scares me a little bit.
And then she just crawls over, and then like walks in, looks at you, and then just like looks at you dead in the eyes, and then leans forward and puts her forehead against yours.
Okay, yeah, because that's so funny, because that's what I was gonna do. And yeah, so I think I kind of like lean into it, and I like kind of like
Tanner puts his forehead against
Come here.
yours.
No. Come here right now. I think I put my like hands on like the side of her face, which is like big, right? You know, and I kind of like the sides of her cheeks. And I'm
Who's
like,
a good puppy?
I'm gonna try not to jump off of anything.
She hums, but like that deep throaty. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then I think I like blow fire like out of my nose, and I'm sort of like syncing my breathing with her, I think. And so I know I'm letting fire out. I don't know if she is.
She is letting like not smoke, but like hot air. Like, but fire would probably burn you. You know what I mean? Like, so she's letting out hot air, right? As like a kind of
But yeah, so I think we kind of just do that, and I just like pat her, and then I pat the baby, and I'm just gonna
jump off the perch. When you just said.
Yeah.
I can catch myself.
Araceli.
Yes.
Perfect.
My D'vonne's perfect victory.
Daddy, no.
Daddy,
yes.
I was just
What the scallops?
That little list of like how to take care of dragons, I'm gonna give it to Jakira.
Okay. Jakira accepts them, and she says, "I'll take good care of them. I promise."
Thank you.
Really
Just make sure that because Kai likes to eat a lot. Just you have to make sure to feed her first, and then keep her away from everyone else's food because
Jakira's like faces aloof as always, but she like puts her hands on your shoulders and turns you around and just starts walking out the door.
Yeah. Okay.
Like as you're talking, she's like, "Yes, I promise I will."
Okay. Just making sure because she gets tummy aches and then she doesn't like flying and she needs to get her
She's
fly
walking
out.
you to the ship. So you guys all are in a tandem ship, and the ship looks really nice. Very, very nice. Like usually, again, the first mission it didn't look that nice. This previous one, he did it up a little bit, and he's doing it up again, right? And so it looks really nice, and he's flying Republic appropriate flags, not like Republic like ship
like,
flags, but like civilian flags, right?
Right, not pirate flags.
Yes.
It's important.
So, not pirate flags, yes. So, as you guys are all walking on, Tandem's walking across the ship, and he says, "G'day!"
Oh!
He says, "You guys gonna be ready soon?"
Yeah.
I'm looking around at you guys, kind of like,
I'm gonna jokingly be like, well, the Tandem's Revenge is looking pretty good, and I tap on the ship.
Is that out of character? Is that the name I said the ship was?
No, that's the name Titus gave the ship at the ball.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
what he was saying
right.
was the captain.
Yeah, he says, Titus says, or Tandem says, God damn it. Tanner, Titus, Tandem, Tamlin. My God. Tandem says, thank you, the crew's been working hard to make it look good. And then he says, you guys going in disguises, or?
Oh.
I got this cloak, and I just feel like it's just the most suspicious looking cloak.
He like does a finger gunning. He says, "You look fantastic, Araceli."
happens a lot. You still see the flowers through it because I wear like my flower. I know flowers.
You know what? He goes up and he starts like fixing your outfit a little bit. He says, he says, I'm trying to think of, if you do it, if you just like, if you move your cloak a little bit like this, right?
Okay,
And then,
right.
and he points to the, he starts like fixing up your outfit.
Oh, thanks.
And then Jameson comes up and he says, "Are you guys ready to leave?" Like to you and Freddie, are you guys ready to leave?
Yeah.
Ready, Freddy.
Okay.
And I have Siren with me.
Yes, Siren is with you. Are you bringing Tempest?
Oh, I don't know. Is there room for Tempest?
Yeah, Tempest is small enough to fit.
Well, all 3 of your dragons fit at the bottom last time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's up to you as to whether or not.
Well, I'd probably discuss it with the group if we want Tempest to come along to make a storm as an escape, maybe. But I don't know if it would help much in the situation.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're in the belly of the beast kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a last resort.
I'm not gonna front. It feels like having the dragons is a worse call than not having.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not. That's why
D'vonne
Beast
is
decided.
only bringing Siren because
D'vonne has issues.
has issues.
So it would have been something Titus brought up, but I don't think he really wants to bring Tempest. But if the group thinks it'd be a good
I don't
idea.
think I say anything. Especially since the Vaughn's looking at me.
Yeah, I think B will just be like, yeah, I think the storm thing would just be like a last resort sort of thing. I don't think we need it, and I think it might be dangerous for us.
Yeah, I agree.
We're in hot shit right now.
Who's wanting the group's opinion on it?
Also, isn't prepping for the worst opinion or the worst option just kind of jinxing ourselves?
Adam? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, definitely, huh?
Adam has. Your crazy eyes are real good. You do real good crazy eyes, Adam. Fuck. So then, Jameson heads to the wheel as you guys are all climbing on. Tandem is still fixing. Stop it. Is still fixing Araceli's outfit, and we'll just fade out for now. That'll be the end of the episode.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, thank you everybody for listening. This has been
you.
5 Gems in a Trench Coat. Do we want to plug our things?
Yeah, follow Adavans Armory, ADAVANS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Instagram and Twitter.
In my art, Gremlin Frog art, you could probably find it on Adavans Armory.
Yes, definitely, or on our Instagram because Taylor does a lot of art for us. You
Also,
should check
we're
it
seeing
out.
that, right?
Yeah. So please rate 5 stars for our podcast if you are enjoying what we're doing, and we'd like to keep doing it. And we've also started a Ko-Fi if you want to support us and give us a little tip for your support.
So we can have energy on the days we record.
Yeah, give us some coffee, guys.
We're here for a long time.
We need reviews too. We love reviews.
We love reviews. We love to know what you guys are liking.
Tell us what you think about our DM in explicit descriptions.
Yeah. Say how this guy Araceli sucks.
Whoa, hey.
Tell me how much you
'Cause I
hate
win?
how mean D'vonne is.
Okay, that's
But yeah, that's everything.
fantastic. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello! Thank you for listening to 5 Gems in a Trench Coat. Be sure to follow us on social media at 5GMs in a Trench Coat on Instagram and TikTok, and at 5GMs Official on Twitter. If you liked the episode, please rate us 5 stars and leave a little comment. And if you'd like to support us further, you can leave a little tip on our Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/5GMs in a Trench Coat. Thanks, and catch you on the next episode. Bye!